Hello and welcome. You're watching the news. I'm Gargi Rawat. Coming up ahead, the first BJP Chief Minister of Odisha is selected. Also, the political war over the Delhi water crisis continues, while Kannada actor Darshan has been arrested in a murder case. All that and more coming up ahead. Let's take a look at the top stories. Four-time MLA Mohan Majhi to be Odisha's first BJP Chief Minister. Two Deputy Chief Ministers are also named. KV Singhdeo and Pravati Parida. All will be sworn in tomorrow. The Modi 3.0 team takes charge. History made on Raisina Hill, with all the top four ministers returning for a second consecutive term. Amit Shah, the first Home Minister to take charge for two consecutive terms since 1947. The BJP attacks the Aam Aadmi Party over the government over the water crisis in Delhi, says there's corruption and mismanagement. AAP hits back as the people of Delhi suffer a power crisis also in some parts of Delhi. A leading Kannada actor Darshan is arrested in a murder case after a man was murdered allegedly for sending obscene texts to Darshan's girlfriend, actor Pavitra. 10 other people have also been arrested. Rahul Gandhi and sister Priyanka hold a thank you rally in Rai Bareli. Say the Awadh region has sent a message to the entire country. Still no announcement on which seat Rahul Gandhi will be giving up, Rai Bareli or Wayanad. In a big move, the UGC will now permit biannual university admission, says two admission cycles will motivate students and will also improve employment opportunities for graduates. And the Supreme Court issues a notice to the Centre National Testing Agency after a petition questioning medical exam NEET. No stay on the counselling, but the court says sanctity has been affected. Need answers. The BJP's picked a relatively unknown face, four-time MLA and the party's tribal face, Mohan Charan Manji, as the new Chief Minister of Odisha, and keeping with what we have seen in the past in various states that the BJP has won. He will be the first BJP Chief Minister of Odisha. The party also picked two deputies for Mr. Manji, KV Singhdeo and Pravati Parida. Let's listen in to what Rajnath Singh, who is the central observer for the meeting and the selection process, what he said.
मोहन माझी जी को मैं सर्वसम्मत भारतीय जनता पार्टी विधायक दल उड़ीसा का मैंने नेता निर्वाचित घोषित किया है। इन सब सारे लोगों ने समर्थन किया और साथ ही साथ हमारे विधायक दल के सभी सम्मानित सदस्यों ने तालियां बजाकर इसका जो है स्वागत किया।
Let's go across to Saurabh now, who is tracking all these developments in Bhubaneswar. So, Saurabh, a balancing act, a tribal face as the Chief Minister. You also have a Singhdeo as a Deputy Chief Minister, belonging to the erstwhile royal family, and also a woman Deputy Chief Minister.
That's right. This has, of course, been an election where the BJP has managed to emerge as the winner after beating the Biju Janata Dal, the BJD, and unseating Naveen Patnaik, who's been the Chief Minister for 24 years. So when the BJP takes up the Chief Minister's post, it's also going to be a very carefully considered decision as to who it wants in that post. And in that context, the BJP seems to have got the balance, at least as far as political analysts go, pretty solid. In that context, what they've done is they've given the tribal face as a chief ministerial face, but they've gone with someone who's got years of experience and an experienced face and a royal in terms of KV Singhdeo, who was also minister along with Naveen Patnaik when the BJP and the BJD were in an alliance. Then you also have in this deputy chief minister's list Parvati Parida, who's a woman's face again from the coastal region. So it's catered to basically all, aspirations and all calculations in terms of whom it wants in these key positions of two deputy chief ministers and one chief minister which is of course Mohan Maji, who is a tribal face. He's a four-term MLA from Keonjhar, 52 years old, and of course he will be sworn in as Chief Minister in the presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the Janata Maidan tomorrow. And also present at his swearing in will be Naveen Patnaik, who's been Chief Minister of Odisha for 24 years. He was invited. Interestingly, also an invite for Lord Jagannath for the auspicious occasion.
All right, thanks so much, Saurav, for joining us with those details. So, the first BJP Chief Minister of Odisha to be sworn in tomorrow. Also, the focus tomorrow morning will be on Andhra Pradesh, where Chief Minister designate and Chandrababu Naidu will be sworn in. Today, the NDA partners met in Vijayawada and elected Chandrababu Naidu as their leader. Later today, Home Minister Amit Shah and BJP President JP Nadda will be meeting with him.
After the mega Modi swearing in, it's time for Chandrababu Naidu's oath as Chief Minister. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister designate N. Chandrababu Naidu will be sworn in at 11:27 a.m. on June 12th near Kesarapalli IT Park at Gannavaram in Krishna district. This will be Naidu's fourth term as Chief Minister. The NDA partners met in Vijayawada and elected Chandrababu Naidu as their leader.
నేను కూడా చాలా ఎన్నికలు చూశాను. ఈసారి రాష్ట్ర చరిత్రలో ఎప్పుడూ ఇవ్వనటువంటి తీర్పు ఇచ్చారు. ఈ తీర్పు మళ్ళీ నిలబెట్టుకునే బాధ్యత మనందరిపై ఉంటుంది. అయితే రాష్ట్రంలో ఉండే 5 కోట్ల ప్రజలందరికీ శిరస్సు వంచి పాదాభివందనం చేస్తున్నా. ఈ రాష్ట్రాన్ని కాపాడుకోవడానికి మీరు చూపించిన చొరవ కోసం.
Janasena Chief Pawan Kalyan proposed the name of Chandrababu Naidu to be the leader of NDA in Andhra Pradesh.
ఈ రోజున సైబరాబాద్ ఉంది అంటే అది శ్రీ చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు గారి దార్శనికత.
Over 1 lakh TDP, Janasena Party and BJP supporters are expected to attend this mega swearing-in ceremony. Winning 164 of 175 seats in the assembly, the TDP-led coalition with JSP and BJP clocked a landslide victory, decimating Jagan Reddy's YSRCP.
Telugu Desam Party earlier planned to hold the swearing-in ceremony of N. Chandrababu Naidu at Amravati, but as the number of leaders are expected from the Bharatiya Janata Party, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the Telugu Desam Party selected this venue just near the Gannavaram airport.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah and other VVIPs will be in attendance for the mega event. The security apparatus has been busy planning for the mega event and preempt any trouble on the big day.
We are involving SPG protected and NSG protected. Minimum are coming over here. So the precautions and security arrangements are all time high. So all kind of anti-national element, terrorists and everything already under our check. Either Lekunta, because these kind of problems where we involved some political clashes and other things, that also has been kept in mind. We'll ensure that there are no clashes over here.
Chandrababu Naidu has urged party members to maintain restraint and calm.
The intelligence reports have suggested that there might be clashes between the YSRCP supporters and the Bharatiya Janata Party, TDP and Janasena supporters on the day when Chandrababu Naidu will be taking oath. For that, senior police officials from Delhi and Andhra Pradesh have arrived over here for preparing of the multi-layer security. This is Ashwarajan with Viril Sheikh Momin for NDTV in Vijayawada.
And in Delhi, it was a day of beginnings with the ministers in the Modi 3.0 government taking charge. History made in the North and South bloc. That's Raisena Hill, Union Home Minister. Amit Shah is the first Home Minister to take charge for 2 consecutive terms since 1947. Now, Rajnath Singh took charge as the Defence Minister again for the consecutive term, as did Dr. S. Jaishankar as the External Affairs Minister. So this too is the first in the history of the South bloc. At the Minority Affairs Ministry, Kiren Rijiju and BJP's George Kurian from Kerala took charge as ministers and Minister of State. Rijiju is the first Buddhist to hold the Minority Affairs charge. Among allies, HDK Kumaraswamy, former Chief Minister of Karnataka, took charge of the Steel Ministry, and the youngest cabinet minister from TDP, Ram Mohan Naidu, took charge at the Civil Aviation Ministry. And another former Chief Minister, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, signed into office at the Agricultural Ministry. And among the 7 women faces in this third Modi government, Annapurna Devi took charge of the Women and Child Development Ministry. Apna Dal's Anupriya Patel took charge as MOS Chemicals and Fertilizers.
I, Kinjarapu Ram Mohan Naidu, do swear in the name of God that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India. This ministry had a lot of scope and potential, and that was reiterated by Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji after a cabinet meeting. Also, he had a one-to-one small meeting with me, and he said that, see, you are one of the youngest of the lot today, and this is one of the most promising ministries, and it's a ministry which has a global eyes on it. So we are going to create a system where those kind of grievances also get addressed, and we are going to make sure that the customer satisfaction is also a top priority.
मैं रामदास अठौले सत्यनिष्ठा से प्रतिज्ञा करता हूँ कि विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान
गठबंधन का जो पहले भी इंडिया की सरकार वो बोलते थे, नरेंद्र मोदी जी बोल सकते थे कि जब 282 सीटें 14 में आई थी 2014 में, 2019 में 303 सीटें आई थी, तो बीजेपी की सरकार करके वो ऐसा निर्णय ले सकते थे। लेकिन अपने साथ छोटे छोटे दल है, उनको साथ में लेकर उन्होंने एनडीए की सरकार ऐसा उनको नाम दे दिया। वो अभी इतना ही फर्क है कि थोड़ी बीजेपी की कम सीटें बात सही है, लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी उनको सभी दलों ने पूरा सपोर्ट करने का निर्णय लिया है। इसीलिए इसमें कोई चिंता बिल्कुल नहीं है। चंद्रबाबू नायडू और नीतीश कुमार जी बिल्कुल हमारे साथ हमेशा के रहेंगे और हमारी सरकार 5 साल तक चलेगी।
I, Jayant Chaudhary, do swear in the name of God that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India.
प्रधानमंत्री जी ने एक नारा दिया कि बहुमत नहीं सर्वमत की तरफ हमें ले जाना है, यानी सबकी राय, सबकी उम्मीद, सबका साथ।
अच्छा, इस बार सर जो मिनिस्ट्री आपको मिली है उसमें न्यू शिक्षा जो पॉलिसी है और भी तमाम सारी चीज़ें हैं, तो ये 100 दिन का एक्शन प्लान में क्या क्या सर अभी तक डिस्कस हुआ है आप लोगों के बीच में?
थोड़ा वक्त आपको देना होगा और पर्दे के पीछे भी बहुत काम तेज़ी से चल रहा है। सरकार अपना काम कभी छोड़ती नहीं, ना रुकती है, पूरे एनर्जी के साथ। आपको पता है कि प्रधानमंत्री कोई समय नहीं खराब करते, लगातार उनकी नज़र देश को आगे बढ़ाने को ले जाने में है और उन्होंने हमें एक मैंडेट दिया है, टास्क दिए हैं।
मैं प्रताप राव गणपतराव जाधव ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूँ कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के आरोग्य मंत्री के राज्य मंत्री के रूप में आज मैंने मेरा 4 संभाला है। आज से हमने काम को शुरुआत की है। आने वाले 100 दिन का जो रोड मैप आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने बनाया है, वो रोड मैप के मुताबिक जो भी हमारे विभाग की जिम्मेदारी होंगी वो पूरी करने की हम पूरी कोशिश यहाँ पर करेंगे।
It's a blessing. The people of Trichur has blessed the people of Kerala.
You think the BJP could have performed better in south of India?
We will take it forward now.
डोमेस्टिक मार्केट में भी जो ग्रोथ है कपड़ा का वो जबरदस्त है और एक विजन है, किसान कपास उतारते हैं तो फार्म टू फैशन उसको भी पूरा करेंगे, लोगों को अधिक से अधिक रोजगार मिले।
Well, also in Delhi, the politics over the water crisis. Today, a double whammy with erratic power cuts across the city amid the ongoing water woes. The BJP accused the AAP government of corruption and mismanagement, while AAP has again blamed BJP-ruled Haryana for the crisis.
A double whammy for the residents of Delhi as erratic power cuts are now being reported from across the city amid the ongoing water woes.
कभी कभी तो दो तीन घंटे का तो चला ही जाता है। आज ही देखिए, आज 3 घंटे से लाइट नहीं थी, तो परेशानी तो हो ही रही है।
Meanwhile, the blame game between both the political parties, Aam Aadmi Party and BJP, only continues to intensify. BJP has now alleged that only the Delhi government and the DJB officials are responsible for the water scarcity.
मुनक नहर से ककोरी के बीच जाते आते 25% पानी गायब हो जाता है जितना आया है, और हमने वो फोटोग्राफ दिखाई कि कैसे वाटर टैंकर वहाँ से पानी चोरी कर रहे हैं, वाटर लिफ्ट कर रहे हैं। जल बोर्ड के अधिकारी वहाँ मौजूद रहते हैं मुनक नहर पे, जल बोर्ड के अधिकारी, दिल्ली की सरकार वहाँ मौजूद है, उसके बावजूद अगर वाटर टैंकर वहाँ से पानी उठा रहे तो उसका जिम्मेदार कौन है? दिल्ली सरकार है।
Delhi government minister Atishi has refused these allegations, saying it is the Haryana government that is responsible for the maintenance of Munak Canal and for the water theft.
जब हम हरियाणा सरकार को चिट्ठी लिखते हैं, जब हम उनसे बात करते हैं, तो वो लगातार हमें कहते रहते हैं हम तो पानी छोड़ रहे हैं, हम तो पानी छोड़ रहे हैं, हम तो पानी छोड़ रहे हैं। ये रास्ते में पानी कहाँ गायब हो जाता है?
While on the issue of power cut, Atishi claimed that it is due to a fire at a substation in Uttar Pradesh from where Delhi receives around 1,200 megawatt of power. She also said that she will seek time from the Union Power Minister regarding this.
BJP alleged that minister is again trying to push the blame on central governments and demand the LG's intervention into the matter.
के अंदर देखिए कुल मिलाकर, चाहे बिजली का मामला हो, चाहे पानी का मामला हो, कोई भी मामला हो, दिल्ली की सरकार फेल हो चुकी है। क्राइसिस इतने ज्यादा है, कोई मॉनिटरिंग करने वाला नहीं है। मेरा ये कहना है कि एलजी साहब को इसमें इंटरवीन करना चाहिए।
Amid this back and forth between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP, it is the common people of the national capital that are still waiting for a solution that would bring them some kind of respite from both these crises. In Delhi with camera person Ashwini Kumar, this is Ishika Verma for NDTV.
Congress leader Rahul Gandhi and his sister Priyanka were in Rai Bareli today for a Thanksgiving rally where they addressed party workers following Rahul Gandhi's victory in the Lok Sabha elections. There's still no final word on which seat he'll be keeping, Rai Bareli or Wayanad. Priyanka said that Awadh had sent a message to the entire country.
कांग्रेस पार्टी के लीडर और हमारे प्यारे कार्यकर्ता अमेठी के, रायबरेली के, मैं आपको दिल से धन्यवाद करता हूं कि आपने इतनी मेहनत की और रायबरेली में और अमेठी में आपने और रायबरेली अमेठी की जनता ने और सब नेताओं ने मिलकर कांग्रेस पार्टी की जीत करवाई।
सभी कार्यकर्तागण जिन्होंने एकजुटता दिखाकर आपके साथ कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर ये चुनाव लड़ा, तो हमने यहाँ एक सेना बनाई और इस सेना के तहत आपकी मजबूती से दोनों रायबरेली और अमेठी हम जीते। ये एक ऐतिहासिक जीत रही। यहां से मुझे गर्व होता है इस बात को कहने में कि यहां से, अवध से, पूरी यूपी में और पूरे देश भर में ये संदेश आप लोगों ने भेजा कि हमें एक समर्पित, एक सच्ची, एक साफ राजनीति चाहिए अपने देश में।
All right, let's go across to Tanish now, who joins us from Rai Bareli. And Tanish, tell us more about the program today, a Thanksgiving, gathering over there. Also, no word on which seat Rahul Gandhi will be maintaining.
Well, of course, the party workers of both Amethi and Raebareli, Congress workers of both Amethi and Raebareli were present, and apart from Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi, there was KL Sharma, UP Congress President Ajay Rai, UP Congress Lok Sabha in charge Avinash Pandey, all of them for the Thanksgiving rally. But the question again, as you said, from where will Rahul Gandhi will be keeping his MP seat, whether from Wayanad or from Raebareli? We were talking to people of Raebareli, the Congress party Karyakartas of Raebareli. They of course said that it is very important that KL Sharma first of all said that he personally wants Rahul Gandhi to keep his Raebareli seat, and of course the party workers also wanted Rahul Gandhi to keep his Raebareli seat, particularly for many reasons, because in 2019 the party was down to its one seat, and now it has finally the tally has gone up to 6 seats. There is a boost in the party workers in Uttar Pradesh, a morale boost of the party workers in Uttar Pradesh, and of course UP being the very important state as far as Lok Sabha elections are concerned. So to continue to make sure that that Congress reaps more benefit of this win, the party workers want Rahul Gandhi to continue as an MP from Raebareli. Yes.
All right, thanks so much, Tanish, for joining us with those details. Well, moving away from politics now, news from Karnataka, where popular Kannada actor Darshan Thogudeepa was arrested for his alleged role in the murder of a man he was arrested from his Mysuru farmhouse. His partner Pavitra Gowda was also taken into custody, and 10 other people were also arrested by the police. Now, this is in connection with the murder of a 33-year-old man, Renuka Swamy, who was killed on the 8th of June. And the reason the police is saying for the murder is that he allegedly sent obscene messages to Pavitra.
33-year-old Renuka Swamy from Karnataka's Chitradurga was found murdered in Bengaluru on the 9th of June. The investigators are now looking into a possible connection between Kannada superstar Darshan and the case. According to Bengaluru's top cop, the deceased allegedly shared some posts on social media about Darshan's close friend Pavitra Gowda, and they are questioning the actor to see if that could be a possible motive. The challenging star, as Darshan is called in Kannada cinema, was picked up on the 11th of June in the morning from Mysuru, where he was filming. He, his aide and his friend Pavitra Gowda are at Annapurneshwari police station, where the interrogation is on.
ಚಿತ್ರದುರ್ಗದ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಕೊಲೆಯಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಲೆಯಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕೊಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಕೆಲವ್ರನ್ನ ಅರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಗೇಷನ್ ಎನ್ಕ್ವೈರಿ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ದರ್ಶನ್ ಅವರು ಹೆಸರು ಕೂಡ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವರನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ತನಿಖೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಇದೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ತನಿಖೆ ಆಗೋವರೆಗೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ, ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಮರ್ಡರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ.
According to police sources, apart from establishing the motive, they are also looking for forensic evidence to establish whether or not the actor could have been present at the scene of the crime.
Darshan may have a huge fan following, but he is not new to controversies. More than a decade ago, he had spent several nights in jail following a complaint that was filed by his wife, charging him for beating her up. Now he is charged with murder of a young man. With camera person Govind, Pratibha Raman in Bengaluru for NDTV.
Now, in a significant development, the UGC has taken a policy decision to allow higher education institutions to admit students twice a year in January, February and then July, August from the next academic year. We spoke to Professor Jagdish Kumar, Chairman of the UGC.
Why this shift and what is the rationale behind this move?
You know, the current UGC regulations permit our universities and colleges to admit the students only once in an academic year. So typically in July, August, the admissions happen and the academic year ends in May or June. But however, many students who miss the admission in July and August, they had to wait for one full year. So we wanted to see if biannual admissions are permitted in the universities, what will be the response of the students? So we first tried it in the online and distance mode education. Last year, we took a decision that in all the 80 universities which offer the online programs, let us permit the biannual admission also. And for our surprise, we found that in July 2023, in the first cycle of the admission in the online programs, about 20 lakh students joined. And when we did the second cycle admission in January, nearly 500,000 students joined. If we did not offer them admission in January, they would have been forced to wait for next July for admission.
Now, the Supreme Court today issued a notice to the Centre and the NTA, that's the National Testing Agency. This was on the plea of some students over the NEET UGC, over the NEET UG 2024, that's the medical entrance exam. Amid allegations that the paper was leaked and other issues, the Supreme Court had some tough words saying that the sanctity of the exam has been affected, so we need answers. The court, though, did not put any stay on the counselling, which will continue for the moment, and the court was hearing a fresh petition in the ongoing row over the NEET results that claimed discrepancies in scores as well as alleged preferential treatment for some students.